My name is Charlie Bourdages. I'm the owner of the company and the founder of the company and company president. I started Site Structures in 1996, and I was sick of working for the guys who I worked for, and I thought I could do it better. And a few months into working for myself, I realized that I was a fool. I went with the name Site Structures after I was reading a book, engineering book about grading, and they talked about landscaping. And Site Structures is the name for walls, walkways, patios, and the hard features in a landscape. And I thought it sounded cool. Probably wouldn't call it that again if I started over. It's confusing for people. It's a really long name. It's a really long email address to type, and you have to do it every day. When I founded the company, I was by myself, and I was a kid. I was in my early 30s. I thought I knew a lot about landscaping. I have a business degree. I thought I knew a fair amount about business. I look back on it now, I realize I knew not a lot about either. And I'm stubborn. It's a family trait, I guess. And I've thought about quitting about 1,000 different times, and I actually have quit in the middle of a few snowstorms and then come back to it an hour later. How have I changed? I've gotten a lot more experience. I learned most of the stuff I know now the hard way. Yeah, I like the tangible part of landscaping. So if I'm sitting in my office doing the stuff that needs to be done in the office, I'm not nearly as happy as I am if I go out and do something mundane like this. This doesn't require a whole lot of mental horsepower or technical skill, but you know, I can be doing important emails all day long, and I want to hurry up and finish those emails so I can do this. I can tell you a little story about Arthur Arakelian. He was my favorite customer of all time. So we're working at his neighbor's house, and he was like this little short Armenian guy, and he came shuffling down the street every day wearing sweatpants, white socks, and like Velcro sneakers, and he'd come check us out every day. And one of these days he stopped and he's like, can you come to my house and look at my yard? And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And I walk with him, you know, like 10 houses up the street, and we look at his house. He walks me through the house, which is spectacular, just built and beautiful. And we get through the house and looking at the backyard, and he goes, I want you to pave this with pavers. And I was like, okay, which part? And he's like, well, all of it! Sort of angry. I was like, okay, and I didn't believe him, and I thought he was gonna just do like something little or be scared by the price. And he ended up putting pavers in most of his backyard, and he had really good taste, and he was a really nice guy to work for. And he learned all the guys' names, everybody who worked there, he learned their name, and he'd come by, you know, 10 times a day and be like, what do you need? You need to use the bathroom? You need a cold drink? What can I get you? Just take care of you all day long, and we're working for him. And then he'd come by at lunchtime and he'd be like, what do you got for lunch? Your lunch is shit. Don't bring lunch tomorrow, I'm cooking. And like, even if you brought your lunch, he'd be like, leave your lunch aside. I cooked today. And he cooked all Armenian food and just bury you in food. And that's, you know, he just took care of us, treated us like a family member, treated us with respect, always paid his bills, always had funny stuff to say, just a super nice guy. So, and unfortunately he died a few years after we did his job, but you know, I always look to him as like, that's the gold standard for what it is to be a good customer. And I think about that myself when anybody comes to my house to do work on our house. I try to offer them something to drink, to show them where the bathroom is, treat them with respect. Yeah, so since we first started, not many, because I started with like very small, tiny little customers. But there are customers who I've had for 20, this is our 25th season, and I've had customers for 22, 23 years. Employees, finding new employees. It's harder, a lot harder than it used to be, just because of how expensive it is to live in the Seacoast area. And I lived on nothing when I was in my 20s, and my rent was $400 a month, and I lived in Rye. And you think about what it costs to live in Rye or Portsmouth or Dover, it's too expensive. The people who do jobs like what we do, you have to pay them $1 million for them to be able to afford to live here. I've planted trees in ankle-deep water. I've plowed 2.5 feet snow. We've landscaped at night. The people. So what really makes me happy is to see people start here in their late teens, early 20s, and grow up. They come here in their cars, break it down, or they need a ride to get here. And after they worked here a few months, they can afford a car. And after they worked here a few more months, they can figure out how to come to work on time. And then by the end of the first year, they're doing jobs on their own. Then they get married, have kids. Their kids grow up, and it's really cool to watch people progress and get more organized about how they live their lives and succeed at life. And I feel like I'm really proud to be a part of their success, and I take a little bit of, a lot of pride in their success as a result of working here. The people, yeah, working along with all the great coworkers who are here and have been here through the years. It's going to be okay. I think I worried a lot in the very beginning that I was going to go bankrupt or go out of business, or the small breakdowns, which are part of the business, would sidetrack me and just ruin my day or ruin my week. And now, I've grown up in a way that I just don't worry about them as much anymore. It all can be solved. Everything in life is, every day you have new problems, and I'm a problem solver. So 5 years from now, hopefully working for the same quality clients, having the same great employees, hopefully most of the same people will actually be working here. We'll be, hopefully a little bigger. The hardest thing for us is finding new employees. So people work here and they grow in what they can do, and they eventually want to become management. So we need to keep making the company bigger to accommodate those people who want to make it a career here. The big companies are swallowing up the small companies. More and more people are paying landscapers to do stuff like mow their lawns and do cleanups. People, I think since the pandemic, really like to have a place to entertain outdoors. And if you think of your patios and your yard as a place where you can have an outdoor room and a way to entertain outside, I think that's just going to keep right on going after the pandemic's gone, because it's fun to hang out outside. I have 2 kids, they're adults. I have a son named Alec, who's 28, and a daughter named Leah, who's 26. They're both successful, they both have jobs, and they're both happy. I have a compulsion about bike riding. I ride my bike somewhere between 5,000 and 8,000 miles a year, and I'm a bad, but I try to race bikes. I do race bikes a lot, but I don't hardly ever win.
Okay.
So I just built new sideboards for this truck, which are these. These get beat up every year by getting taken on and off over and over and over, and then people load into the truck with machines, they accidentally bang them. So these are all new sideboards. The trucks all get gone through before spring, and we try to make sure all our machines and trucks and equipment is all ready to go, so we don't have to stop and fix it once the season gets started. And it's a ton of work. It takes all your free time. It's basically a full-time job for multiple people for a couple months, but it totally pays off. Why do people pick us? I think our customers pick us because we're genuine. We do what we say. We're good craftspeople. Provide a good value. We stand by the stuff we do. We work for the same people over and over and over and over. People move to new houses, they call us back. They re-landscape. We work for builders, they just call us on every single house they ever built. We work for local businesses or schools and colleges, and they just call us over and over and over. Sometimes they call us to fix other landscapers' stuff because they know it's going to get done right.